The problem I've got here, though, is if we go down the path of a conventional interim build in Australia, not an off-the-shelf buy from overseas, but a build in Australia, we're just going to buy ourselves another decade of pain and lack of action, pork barrelling into South Australia. We'll be no further advanced. We'll have every industry rent seeker, defence industry rent seeker coming in with their, preferred bid. The tender process for this stuff is a nightmare. It goes on for multiple years. We're not going to get anything. Why can't we get something off the shelf? Why can't we get nuclear sooner rather than later? And why are we so hell-bent on demanding it must be built in Australia? Can't we just get the best subs possible?
Well, you're absolutely right, Peter. So you're absolutely right. So logically, if the first 2 subs should be built in America, all 10 of them should be built in America. So the idea that we can build nuclear subs in Australia, by the time we get round to building a nuclear sub, after this first 2, which I think is magical thinking, I think that the chances of these first 2 actually ever existing is very, very slight. There is still lots of opposition to it in the American system. You've got to go through all kinds of political cycles in America and in Australia. But if the first 2 should be built in America, all of them should be built in America, because setting up a supply chain in Australia, etc., would be enormous. Now, of course, if we'd started rationally building conventional subs 15 years ago, as we should have done, we'd have them now, we'd have the first of them now, and we could move to nuclear after that. But you could, in fact, build Collins subs, not Sons of Collins, not evolved Collins, just Collins subs. After all, the Morrison government claimed that the Collins sub as it currently exists is the regionally superior sub and the best conventional sub in the world. Now, either they're lying to us, either they were telling us an outright lie, or that's true. If it's true, you could build a Collins, you could build interim Collins subs right now, not evolved Collins. Don't let the Navy get their hands on them and redesign them with wombat wings and every bespoke, thing. All through this sub saga, the unattainably perfect has been the enemy of the attainable good.
Yeah,
now,
you know what, Greg? And I fear
in favour of nuclear
we will
subs.
all be speaking Chinese. We'll all be speaking Chinese while we're still debating this topic. We'll not have one sub in the water.
Absolutely. All the Christian Democrats will be ruling in Beijing. But I'd just say to you though, Peter, I admire Peter Dutton, but I put no credibility in this statement of his. I think it's pure politics. And if it was real, the government should have told us all about it before the election.
Yes, I do agree we need a bit more honesty from our politicians, just like the Nats suddenly discovering nuclear power on this side of the election, not when they were in government and could actually do something about it. Greg Sheridan, thank you for your time.